Married but not in love, finding joy elsewhere. Imagine waking up next to someone you married, but realizing the love is gone. What do you do when your greatest commitment no longer brings you joy? This isn't about escaping, it's about redefining happiness when happily ever after doesn't look like you thought it would. Do you ever feel like you're living a parallel life, one for appearances, and another where your true self craves connection? For years, I navigated a marriage where the love had simply faded, leaving an empty space. This is my story of finding fulfillment, not by breaking vows, but by rediscovering joy in unexpected places. That's a powerful and emotionally complex topic, let's explore it thoughtfully. Marriage is often built on promises of lifelong companionship and love. Yet, many people find themselves years later sharing a home, responsibilities, and routines, but not affection, passion, or emotional connection. Being married but not in love is more common than many admit, and it can feel both lonely and confusing. Number 1. To start, let's talk about when love fades but commitment remains. Love doesn't always disappear suddenly, it often fades gradually under the weight of stress, routine, resentment, or emotional neglect. Many couples stay together out of duty, financial necessity, children, or fear of starting over. What remains is companionship mixed with emptiness, a sense of loyalty without warmth. Number 2. The silent loneliness within marriage. It is possible to feel more alone with your spouse than when you are actually by yourself. Emotional disconnection creates a quiet ache, conversations become practical, intimacy feels forced, and laughter disappears. This loneliness can lead one to seek joy, excitement, or validation outside the marriage, not always in the form of infidelity, but in other emotional or personal pursuits. Number 3. Let's also talk about finding joy elsewhere doesn't always mean cheating. For many, elsewhere means rediscovering themselves, passions, hobbies, friendships, or spirituality that the marriage has overshadowed. Others may turn to community, work, or creative outlets as sources of meaning and fulfillment. Finding joy outside the marriage can be healthy if it helps a person reconnect with their identity, confidence, and sense of purpose. Number 4. Emotional infidelity and the need for connection. When emotional needs go unmet for too long, people often form deep connections with others, sometimes unintentionally. Sharing feelings, dreams, and frustrations with someone else can bring comfort but also moral conflict. This emotional intimacy can highlight what's missing in the marriage and deepen the inner divide between duty and desire. Number 5. Why many stay despite unhappiness. Fear of judgment, financial instability, or breaking up the family often keeps people in marriages that have lost love. Some hold on to hope that feelings can return, while others settle into a quiet acceptance that companionship without passion is good enough. Society still glorifies marital endurance more than emotional fulfillment, which adds guilt to those contemplating change. Number 6. Let's also talk about rekindling or redefining the relationship. Love can sometimes be revived through honesty, therapy, and effort if both partners are willing to grow and communicate. But if the marriage cannot be revived, redefining it, focusing on respect, cooperation, or friendship, can bring peace. Some couples choose emotional separation while remaining partners in practical matters, creating a new type of coexistence. Number 7. Finding joy from within. Ultimately, the deepest joy often comes from reconnecting with yourself, not from another person. Learning who you are beyond the roles of spouse or parent allows emotional freedom. Through self-growth, travel, art, learning, or friendships, people rediscover purpose and vitality that the marriage alone cannot provide. Being married but not in love doesn't always mean failure, it means evolution. People change, and relationships evolve. The key is honesty, first with oneself, then with one's partner. Joy can still exist, sometimes within the marriage, sometimes outside it, and sometimes in a new life altogether. What matters is living authentically rather than staying trapped in emotional silence. Now, let's continue by exploring how people can rebuild meaning, fulfillment, and even quiet happiness while remaining in a marriage where love has faded. Number 8. Acceptance as the first step toward peace. The first step is acknowledging reality without denial or resentment. Many people spend years pretending everything is fine, which only deepens emotional exhaustion. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up, it means understanding where you truly are. Once you stop fighting against reality, you can decide what kind of peace you want to build, within or beyond the marriage. Number 9. Now let's also talk about reconnecting with yourself. When love fades, people often realize how much of their identity they've lost trying to sustain the relationship. Reconnecting with your inner self, through journaling, therapy, meditation, or solitude, helps you rediscover your voice, your preferences, and your emotional needs. Self-awareness becomes a source of quiet strength. Even if the marriage doesn't change, you do, and that can make life feel lighter. Number 10. Nurturing non-romantic sources of joy. When the marriage no longer provides warmth, other forms of joy become essential: friendships, children, creative passions, or community service. Many people find new meaning in personal growth, learning new skills, traveling, or returning to old dreams. This does not replace love, but it reminds you that happiness can come from multiple directions. Number 11. What I'm trying to say when I talk about transforming the relationship dynamic. A marriage that has lost romantic love can still evolve into a partnership of respect, cooperation, and shared purpose. Some couples shift focus from passion to companionship, finding contentment in routines, mutual goals, or raising a family. Emotional honesty, even about the absence of love, can remove bitterness and open the door to mutual understanding. Number 12. Seeking therapy or mediation. Couples therapy can help partners rediscover emotional intimacy or, at least, learn to coexist without hostility. Individual therapy helps each partner explore why love faded, whether from neglect, unmet needs, trauma, or growing apart. The process can bring clarity: is there still something worth rebuilding, or is it time to let go? Number 13. Now let's also be specific when we talk about letting go without leaving. Not everyone who emotionally detaches wants to end the marriage. Some find peace in accepting the relationship's limits, choosing to stay for companionship, family stability, or shared history, but without illusions. This peaceful detachment allows space for self-growth without constant disappointment. Number 14. When finding joy elsewhere crosses a line, there's a fine balance between seeking joy and escaping through emotional or physical infidelity. Affairs may bring temporary excitement but often deepen emotional confusion and guilt. True joy must be grounded in integrity and self-respect, otherwise it becomes another form of unhappiness disguised as freedom. Number 15. To finish, let's talk about redefining love itself. Love is not always passion or desire, it can evolve into care, gratitude, or simple companionship. For some, this quieter form of love, even without intensity, becomes enough. For others, it's a sign to seek emotional authenticity elsewhere, whether through new beginnings or personal transformation. Final reflection: being married but not in love is not a failure of morality, it's a reminder of our human complexity. Love changes, people evolve, and emotional needs shift. The challenge lies not in forcing a dead feeling to revive, but in asking, what does joy mean to me now? Whether joy is rediscovered within the marriage, found in new pursuits, or cultivated in solitude, the goal is the same: to live with honesty, emotional clarity, and self-respect.